Okay, hello, it's 11 o'clock. Welcome to the weather update. It's July 8th, 2021. A little later because I want to make sure I get all the weather data in and stuff. And we had a stormy day. I was not expecting all these thunderstorms to just develop. They looked like they were just going to stay to the north, and then they just kept popping literally right over Nassau County. And here's some of the cloud formations that I was able to see here today in Nassau County. And I have video of the thunderstorm as well. It was quite impressive. To say the least, very impressive storm, and just looking at the sky here, it is really just ominous looking. Here's the rain coming down. We had a number of we had like 3 different thunderstorms today that I experienced. They all just seem to pop up right over Nassau County, and you can see these dark clouds, really threatening looking clouds that were over our area today. Really just menacing, especially this cloud right here, a real menacing looking cloud right there. And that was shortly after we saw that cloud, we got another thunderstorm. That was the third and final one of the day. But incredible nonetheless to see what was going on with these skies. Very ominous looking skies. And I have more picture here. Let's see, we got more here. So here's some more of what it looks like. Close that up and show you. Again, the rain was pretty heavy, and we got a lot of rain today, too. A lot of rain. Look at that. So, yeah, it was really coming down at certain times, really heavily. So let's go to the radar right now. Now, we got to watch Elsa, because this thing really is impressive. But before I even get to that, I got to talk about what happened today with the thunderstorms. So let's go to the radar right here. This is the radar right now. You can see here the outer bands of Elsa right now, but let's go first take a look at the radar from earlier today, and we'll show you what wound up happening. So it all started around 3 o'clock. You can see this area of thunderstorms developing here, but then another area wound up developing over Nassau County, and then moved. It looked like it moved to the north, but then shortly after that, 4:30, here comes more activity developing again right over Nassau County, and there was actually a severe thunderstorm warning out for this cell that wound up hitting central Suffolk County, and that was a severe thunderstorm with lots and lots of lightning as well. And I've got some lightning flashes here too, and you can see another cell popping up right around 7 o'clock there. So it just kept going, and it finally didn't quiet down until after 8 o'clock finally. But it was just one after another and a lot of areas got hit hard with a lot of rain, and we're going to get to that before we even get to Elsa. So let's go to the latest rainfall totals from the National Weather Service right now from the rain today, and you're going to be really impressed with these numbers here that we have. Connecticut, not so much, but look at Bergen County here. 4.92 inches, 4.56 in Lodi, Waldwick, New Milford, 3.70. This is a lot of rain. Essex County, not too much there, 1.40. But then some isolated areas here, like Passaic, 3.83 inches. In the Bronx, and there was a lot of flooding in the Bronx. Fordham, 3.55 inches, 2.73 inches in Pelham Parkway houses. Harlem, 2.48 inches. Nassau County, Great Neck, 1.64. Levittown, 1.17 in Manhattan. Washington Heights got 2.94. Central Park, 2.27. Midtown Manhattan, 1.79. Into Queens, 1.12. Rockland County, 1.87. Westchester also getting hit hard. Places in southern Westchester, Midland Park, 3.72. Eastchester, 2.17. And we're going to look at a map of all these totals here, because it was incredible, because the storms just were very heavy rain, and they kept training over the same areas over and over again. And it was quite really incredible to watch. So let's go to the weather and hazards map here, and we're going to look at the observations. And right now, you can see temperatures generally are around 70 degrees, and it's humid, it's muggy, but it's not too hot out there. We'll get the high temperature over first. So we'll take a look at the high temperatures today. The island got up into the low to mid 80s, but if you were in Jersey, you got more to around 90 degrees, so it's hotter in Jersey, not surprisingly. Now let's go to the precipitation, because that's what we all want to see here. And we're going to move this up to 7 in the morning. Let's try this. So 7 in the morning, we're going to look at these precipitation numbers, and some areas got quite a bit of rain, and we're going to first start in those hardest hit areas here in northern Jersey, You saw the radar. The northern Jersey, the Bronx, southern Westchester really got hammered with lots and lots of rain. 4 inches, 5.23 inches, 3.83 in Clifton and Passaic. This is an insane amount of rain to get in one day. And Elsa hasn't even arrived yet. And then you go further south and it's hardly anything, which is really interesting. Really interesting now in parts of Long Island. You can see that 2.27. So Manhattan, this general area right here, I'll circle it right here for you. This general area right here. This general area right here is where this was the hardest hit area right there with these storms. Quite incredible. But still, Long Island, we got a good amount of rain, too, out of it. 0.70 in Carl Place, 1.03 in Belrose. Long Beach only got 0.28. 1.09 reported at Plainview. 0.41 reported at Farmingdale Airport. 1.60 reported at Dix Hills. 1.11 at Greenlawn. And we're going to look at some more precipitation observations, too, on the other side. But look at Islip. They got skunked, only 0.12. The East End didn't get nothing. It all seemed to go over central Suffolk. When you were from one to the South Shore, you didn't get anything. So that's where the action was today. Let's go to the Wonder Map here, and we're going to look at the Wonder Map now, and again, look at our precipitation amounts. And again, you can see this kind of tells the story here of who got the rain and who didn't get the rain. And it looks like there's a report of 2.08 inches somewhere up here. It was over here, but it looks like this station, I see a 1 inch in Williston Park. So yeah, around an inch of rain in central Nassau, but some areas got closer to 2 inches, especially toward the North Shore. A place like Kensington, almost 2 inches there. And then you go along east central Nassau County also. A place like Levittown, 1.76. But then you go east, southeast, and then there's nothing. So there's a sharp cutoff to where these storms hit and who got the rain and who didn't get the rain out of it. But, of course, the most impressive rainfall totals are in the city and New Jersey, where you go over 2 inches. And, again, look at that 3.38 inch, 3.75 inch there. Garfield, Paterson, Hackensack, Passaic Junction. These areas really got hammered. 3.93 inches, 2.59 inches. Look at these areas too. Midland Park, 4.88 inches. This is incredible rain for just one day, and we haven't even gotten the rain from Elsa yet. So that's the incredible rain, and that had to cause tremendous amounts of flash flooding, and there was a lot of flash flooding today. So let's go to the National Weather Service homepage right now, and we'll go over that. All right, because let's see if we can get some pictures from that. I'm sure that there are some pictures of what happened with the flooding going on. So they have storm reports also listed, so we actually have to go to the storm reports as well, because they're going to be up there too. Let's go to the storm reports. I mean, I'm tracking this storm, and I'm tracking the storm we have to deal with tomorrow morning. So let's go to the storm reports here. Local storm report. Let's see what we got. This was today. So here are the storm reports today. They also had a hail with this storm in Bergen County. Thunderstorm wind damage, trees down in Bergen County. Hail, 2.50 inches. Wow, some pretty large hail there in Bergen County. Hail again. Tree down in a car. This is incredible damage here. So there's probably power outages too in this area too. We're going to have to go look at the power outage map. And here are all the flash floods that were occurring. Washington Heights, southern Westchester, Central Park Avenue, roads flooded. Subway stations in the Bronx inundated with flood waters. Heavy flooding, cars stuck on road, people being rescued in Hackensack, flash flood in the Bronx. Hutchinson River Parkway closed due to flooding, significant flooding. So what an eventful day it has been yet again in our area. Absolutely incredible day that we're dealing with. Now let's go look at the satellite, and here it is. Here's Elsa. We're going to take a look at it right now, and I'm telling you, this thing looks threatening. It's still got convection going. It's over land. How is this thing still going? It's supposed to when they're over land, but it's just close enough to that water to just keep going. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. I can go to the short of 12 hour loop of this. This is the 12 frame loop, and you can just see, look at all that convection that's starting to go over Delmarva right now. It seems like it's trying to strengthen, if anything, and that is really crazy. Now we're going to go and look at, let's see what we have as far as storm ports here. Let's see what we've got here. We're going to look at CBS New York. I'm sure that they have covered all the storms, the flooding and stuff. Let's see. Anything? Face flooded subway stations. So, yeah, this is going to be some real flooding going on here in the area. Let's see news. Let's go to Hackensack Patch and see if they have any images of what's going on here. We also have Daily Voice, too. But let's go to Hackensack Patch. Teaneck. All right, that's close enough. Thousands without power as storm hits. So this is some of the pictures of what they were dealing with. 7,000 people in Bergen County have lost power as a result of this storm as well. There's flash flooding as well. And and like I said, Elsa's not even here yet. This really has nothing to do with Elsa. It's just a stalled front that we are dealing with here. And it's quite insane what we're dealing with here. News 12, Westchester. Let's see. They even report on this? Torrential rain, water rescues. This is an example of what was going on here. There. Water rescues, flooding. I could put NY flooding, and we can see if we can get some more information here. Images, and here are some of the pictures here that are from the flooding here. Let me show you that. Might not be all the pictures from today, but flooding in New York City. Here you go. Here's underground subway stations flooding, roads flooding. This is somewhat subway service had to be suspended. Look at this. People getting rescued, having to get rescued from their cars. Look at these subway stations here flooding from the rain. Look at this. So this is what's going on here, and there's not even half of it because I think they got even more rain in parts of Bergen County. Looking at some of those numbers that we saw there, absolutely nuts. New York City hit by flash flooding, so really incredible here. We're going to go to News 12 New Jersey now and see what they have. They're reporting on these storms too here and some of the damage here. Trees bring down power lines in Red Bank. It looks like they have power outage in Red Bank. It's really a bad situation here. Really bad situation. All right, go to power outage now. And New Jersey right now, 9,914. Looks like they've restored a lot of the power to those areas in New Jersey that were hit by these storms. But still a lot of people out. New York also in the yellow. So let's take a look and see what we have here. We have some outages on Long Island, believe it or not, from the storms that we had caused some outages. So let's go to PSEG Long Island outage map and take a look at that. So we have 759 people without power right now. There's still some outages in Westbury, and again, it was from these storms that came through. There was a lot of lightning in some spots, and so I have a video of some of the lightning when I was in Carl Place. It was pretty impressive, and some really cool cloud formations as well. So a really incredible evening with the day with the storms, and now we got to worry about let's go to Hurricane Elsa right now. I think the first thing I'm going to do is go to the National Weather Service briefing on Hurricane Elsa. All right, this is the briefing from the National Weather Service at 6:30 p.m. Thursday, July 8th. A flash flood watch is now expanded to include Suffolk County, and Tropical Storm Elsa is forecast to accelerate throughout the Northeast to the Mid-Atlantic states tonight. Torrential rain, rough marine, and surf conditions and dangerous rip currents. A period of weak tropical storm force winds 39 mile per hour plus sustained is possible, mainly across eastern Long Island and extreme southeastern Connecticut late tonight, Friday morning. This is the official track of Elsa. All right, you can see it's having a track just southeast of Long Island, over Nassau County, but it could wind up going over the east end. All right. And a brief period of south to southeast winds of 35 to 40 miles an hour with gusts to 55 are likely for portions of Long Island and southeastern Connecticut late tonight to Friday morning. And then winds will switch to the northwest. This could bring in some power outages. This is the forecast rainfall amount. Look at this already. These areas have already gotten tons of rain, and they're going to get even more rain, which is going to be a real flood situation. That's why we've had flash flood warnings. In fact, there's also a chance of scattered tornadoes possible as well with this. Again, with the rain. I mean, flash flood warning came up actually this evening. They issued a flash flood warning for our area. Actually, my phone actually went off. It alerted me to it. Right? Let's go right to the National Hurricane Center. Get the latest on Tropical Storm Elsa, I should say. Public advisory. Elsa is approaching Chesapeake Bay. Flash flooding threat in the mid-Atlantic and northeastern United States continues. As of 11 p.m., its location 37.6 north, 76.5 west, about 50 miles northwest of Norfolk, Virginia, about 170 miles southwest of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Maximum sustained winds have increased to 50 miles an hour. Can you believe it? Moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 1,000 millibars, 29.59 inches. And of course, we are under a tropical storm warning. That obviously painfully obvious here. The tropical storm force winds extend outward to 160 miles, mainly southeast of the center. Palmico Sound recently reported a sustained wind of 46 miles an hour, gusting to 58. This is not a storm to be played around with. It's sort of reminding me a little bit of the Isaias situation again. Here you go. With the rain, here's the radar. We put this into motion so you get to see this. And we'll do that one more time so you get a chance to see the radar here. Here is the radar, and you can clearly see what looks like a pretty healthy tropical storm. And lots of torrential rain that will be affecting areas that have already been hit by torrential rain today. So while the west coast is very dry, we are very wet. You have that precipitation imbalance going on. We can look at tropical tidbits and see their image of Elsa. And like I said, this thing look at that convection. It's still going. Look at that convection just blowing up around the center there. And that northeast side of the storm, you could have tornadoes in it. All right. That's another thing that could happen. All right. Could have tornadoes in it. Let me go back to the weather and hazards map here, and we're going to see what kind of, because I think there's some tornado watches. There's a tornado watch in effect for the Delmarva. There surely is. We have that. We have, looks like a bunch of hazards here that we'll click on, and we'll see if we can get all of them here to load here in a moment. But the Delmarva is getting hit right now. Tornado watch, flash flood watch, tropical storm warning, flash flood watch. That's all in effect. And for our area, we are dealing with the tropical storm warning. Wait for this to load here in a minute here. Tropical storm warning remains in effect. And a flash flood watch. And so there'll be some flash flood warnings issued in the morning. Let's put the observations in here and see what's going on closer to the storm. And you can see some of this stuff's pretty impressive here. Got some wind gusts up to 24, 26 miles an hour. 33 mile an hour wind gust over here. You clearly see the center of this thing. So the winds, there's substantial winds, but I think the main threat right now is just going to be from the rain, because so much rain is falling in this area right now. And it's really just it's going to get bad. Like I said, this thing's going to impact when we go over the miles. We're going to see when this is going to impact. Let's go to the lightning tracker and see if there's a lot of lightning being produced here in around this storm. Now, I don't see too much lightning with these rains. So not too many thunderstorms going right now. So let's go to the models. And I should not have closed the tropical tidbits up. So we'll have to go back to that. We're just going to be tracking Elsa right now, right? That's all we're going to be talking about. All right, we'll talk about the weekend tomorrow night, all right? So this is the GFS. Here we are at 8 o'clock tonight. You can see it's tracking right over New Jersey, and it tracks the center right over, it looks like eastern Suffolk County. So the stronger winds would be on the right side of the storm, heavier rain on the left. So we're going to be getting more of that heavy rain. So that's what's going to cause some more flooding, I think, over our area. All right. But the good news is it gets out of here by the afternoon. All right. But when we look and see how much rain this thing could drop, we go to the total accumulated precip, and you see here a stripe of 2 inches or more possible for at least the western half of Long Island, the eastern half an inch. And this stretch goes into the same areas that were affected by the heavy rain today: the Bronx, Manhattan, parts of northern New Jersey. So this is more rain on top of already a lot of rain. We've already received a month's worth of rain in some areas already, and that's just incredible. That really is incredible. So let's go back to the radar simulation now. Let's look at the HRRR. And this is the 02Z HRRR, which will take us far enough out to show you the storm as it approaches. So here's the storm, and you can see there's that line of convection. The HRRR seems to want to take the heavier rain more over the Jersey Shore and then more over the eastern part of Long Island as it tracks the center of the of Elsa, just like pretty much over Montauk Point, and then it goes over Cape Cod. So that would be the track of the HRRR. Let's see how much rainfall the HRRR puts down here. So it puts down the heavier 2+ inches of rain on the eastern part of Suffolk and less west. This would be a better situation because those areas didn't get as much rain today. With those areas that got hit with the heavy rain, particularly in the northeast New Jersey, Hudson Valley, and parts of New York City, don't need any more heavy rain. It would be very bad if that situation did wind up happening. So let's go to the NAM. We'll also go to the NAM 3. So here's the NAM 3. And the NAM 3 is a little more, has the heavier rain more over Long Island, but it has more of that heavy rain over Nassau County. So the question is where that rain goes. And the NAM's just a little further west, maybe just west of Montauk or over East Hampton with the center of it. And let's see how much rain the NAM does decide to give us here. So again, that 2 inches, 1 to 2 inches of rain, I think is a good bet. In some areas, a little more than 2 inches is a good bet for this. It's a very good bet for this. So now we got that out of the way. Let's go look at the wind profile here. We'll first start with the wind profile on the NAM. And right now, it doesn't look all that bad for Long Island. The highest winds would be along the water, along the South Shore. And that's an area that could flood due to rainfall and storms and the wind driving the water up onto the beach. So there could be some coastal flooding there. But it looks like the Cape will get, Cape Cod will actually wind up getting more wind, at least according to the NAM scenario. And again, all this happens, the worst of it happens around that 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. time frame. All right, with this rain back up here, you'll see it'll start around 5 a.m. Some really heavy thunderstorms. Has some purple there. Could be some severe thunderstorm warnings issued with these things. And then actually it's done by 11 a.m. It's out of here. All right, and HRRR would also agree with that as well, that it's done and out of here. So it's that time frame, unfortunately, for the morning rush. That's when you're going to have impacts, and I really would just avoid traveling during that time because it will be kind of dangerous. Let's go to the HRRR wind, and you'll see again, keeps the worst of the wind offshore. And with a track like that, at least it's better than a track right up the island, so it goes a little more east. And the stronger winds, which are on the right side of the storm, will not affect most of Long Island except for the east end, according to this, at least this scenario. All right. And of course, I won't forget about the temperatures tomorrow. We'll go over that very briefly. We're only going to be in the 70s, obviously. But we might hit 80 if the sun comes out later on after the storm. That is possible. We do see that with tropical systems sometimes, that the skies do have a tendency to clear out after they leave. And the NAM does indicate some breaks of sun perhaps by the afternoon, later in the afternoon. So I'm not even going to look at the other models. So now let's go to Ventus Sky, and let's go ahead and look at the wind situation. Actually, we're going to look at the Actually, I want to use two sides. All right, we'll go to the wind speed with this. We'll go to wind gusts first. All right, so let's go in here. Get wind gusts. We go to 5 in the morning. We got to move this to tomorrow. So here's 5 in the morning. Here is the HRRR's version of the wind gusts. And you will see along the Jersey Shore, you're getting some pretty strong wind gusts. This is 4 a.m. We'll go to 6 a.m. And you'll see those wind gusts. And this is what's going to cause some flooding along the Jersey Shore. You can have that wind piling that water up. And that can cause some beach erosion and flooding. And wind gusts of up to 60 miles an hour could be possible in that area. As we move along to 7, you will see we're going to start getting into some of those wind gusts in the middle of the island, middle of Nassau County. But nothing too bad, just up to 30 miles an hour. South Shore gets closer to 40 miles an hour. Here we are at 8 o'clock, and you see the worst of the wind seems to be South Shore. We're getting away with not too much gusts here, but the South Shore could see wind gusts. And again, that flooding impact, it could cause some flooding impacts there. Nothing probably terrible, but I'm sure News 12 South Shore is, of course, talking about that impact more than anything. It should be because the flooding from the rain, I think, is going to be more of a bigger issue than the flooding from the actual storm itself, the wind. All right, backside of the storm, we could get some breezy conditions, and then by 2 o'clock, it's out of here. All right. Now, let's go look at windy.com, and this is going to use the European model here, all right? So let's go to the wind gusts here, and we'll actually first look at wind, the regular wind, all right? So let's go to 4 a.m. All right, so this is the European model now that we're looking at, and you can see the strongest winds remain out over the ocean. On the shores, the winds aren't too bad, all right? This is 4 a.m. I guess the Euro wants to take the worst winds maybe a little further east. Let's go to 8 a.m. All right, so you can see we really avoid the bad winds here in Nassau County. We have a wind to 20 miles an hour, which isn't too bad. These are the sustained winds right now, and east at 29, the east end. And again, the worst of the wind would be out, and this is around 9 a.m. The worst of the wind would be the South Shore, particularly Suffolk County and the South Fork of Long Island. By 12, it's out of here. So it moves. It's a quick mover. It'll be in, it'll be out. Very much like Isaias. All right, so here we go looking at wind gusts, and this is where the numbers go a lot higher here. And that's where you're going to start to see those wind gusts. Just 4 a.m. Around Southern Ocean County, you're going to start to see those wind gusts approaching 50 miles an hour. But you can see the Euro really moves this fast. Now, the wind gusts are going to be more of a problem than anything. We could have gusts to 44 in the middle part of Nassau County, middle part of Suffolk, North Shore, a little less, more like maybe 35. It could still cause some scattered power outages. But when we go to the South Shore, the winds are a lot worse there. That's where we can see those winds gusting up to 54 miles an hour. That southeast wind, it's going to be rough, and that's going to push the water in it as well and cause some flooding there. On top of the rainfall that will flood. And then on the backside, it's going to be breezy as well. We're going to have windy conditions throughout your Friday as this thing pulls away. But then by the afternoon, it's quiet. So once it gets out of here by the afternoon, it will be quiet. Now, let's go and look at the waves, the ocean situation here. And this is another issue that we're going to be dealing with here. 7 a.m. tomorrow, you're going to have some ocean waves, particularly on the South Shore, approaching 10 feet. Out over the open ocean, your waves are going to be probably approaching 20 feet or higher. But again, because of the track of the storm being enough far enough east, it keeps the worst of it away from the main part of Long Island. But again, South Shore, Suffolk County, you could be dealing with some of those high waves. And again, you throw that in there with the rain, and that could cause some flooding. So, yeah, this is going to be one storm to watch, and I'm going to keep you updated on this storm. I'll try to update you sometime before this thing hits in the morning, or as it's hitting. And we'll see what happens. But this is going to be a rough one. That's for sure. Hopefully not as bad as Isaias. I think the track's a little more favorable. I don't think we're going to see as much wind, fortunately, because the track is a little more east. But the rainfall, we're going to have to worry. I think the main threat with this is going to be flooding from rainfall. And that's going to be a big problem in any low-lying area, whether you're on the South Shore or in the middle of the island, because we have low-lying areas in the middle of the island that flood too. And even inland in Bergen County and the Bronx, there was flooding. So flooding can happen anywhere. It's not just a South Shore thing, even though that's what News 12 South Shore would like you to believe. And if you go to News 12 South Shore site, you'll see here. Then I got to sort of call them News 12 South Shore because they're going to be all over the South Shore. See, they finally put something for the East End. Thunderbelt, what's in that for South Shore communities? So they seem to think the flooding is only going to happen on the South Shore, but as you saw in Mineola, we could have roadway flooding too. But again, they're only gearing to a certain demographic. They don't really care about whatever happens in Mineola. That's not their concern because they're gearing to, a certain demographic, as we know. And that's why, again, they're... I shouldn't even waste time with them. The other thing is, let's see if there were any impacts on train service due to these storms that we had today. Let's see if there was anything here. All right, storm advisory. I don't know if they're going to be changing service levels due to the storm. I don't know if there's any. There was signal trouble on the Port Jefferson branch around Smithtown, probably due to the thunderstorm. So they did have some weather-related signal trouble in Hicksville. In Smithtown. And there was weather-related signal trouble in Queens Village. But of course, the Babylon branch is doing just fine. They never seem to get affected by storms. So yeah, they actually wound up canceling a train. 50. Wow, man, you got to be kidding me. This never happens on the Babylon branch. Just goes to show you they just replaced the signals there. It shows you the kind of crap it's not going to be tough enough for these storms. So signal trouble east of Jamaica. The Babylon branch sails probably just fine. So, that'll probably happen again tomorrow. Said South Shore, that's the place to be. Middle of the island, we're just second-class place. So let's go to NJ Transit. Let's go to Metro North, actually, and see, because they might have been also affected by these storms as well. We had some weather-related track conditions as well that they had to deal with. And the subway was also dealt with it, too. We can't go through every little thing here. Weather-related track conditions near Fordham, so I'll probably due to flooding, probably. A lot of problems on Metro North. Yeah, 45 minutes. Yeah, they were hit hard by that flooding. Harlem and New Haven service delayed, weather relaxed, so it was suspended for a little while. So there you go with these storms. They wound up causing some problems for Metro North. Now, NJ Transit now. We'll go to NJ Transit and we'll see what's going on with them. Let's see, we do have some alerts here. Signal issues near Suffern. So they had some signal issues near Suffern. Let's go to their Twitter and see if they put anything about the problems today. Alright, so rail service on a close. There was some delays. So there was service out of Penn Station was delayed. 60-minute delays due to the storm. Not surprisingly. 45-minute delays. So real big problem with them again. Getting hit with that again. They go through a lot of low-lying areas there in the Meadowlands where a lot of rain fell. And then we got to go to the NYC subway and figure out what happened there with transit there, because that was also affected. And we'll see. All right, so there are problems here. Let's see what we got here. A lot of problems here. No A service. Rainfall. There's flooding of the tracks. No A service. North to 207th. So the subway also affected. So many forms of transit were affected by these storms today. And just a huge mess here. A huge mess. What happened with the F trains? Switch problem at Broadway Lafayette. That can't be due to the storm. So here's some of the flooding. I don't see any pictures here of the flooding here. Oh, here you go. Here's a picture here. So flooding in our stations. It's just so much rain for them to deal with. And so the tracks, obviously, everything with water and, tracks and electronics and signals, are going to be affected by this. So just incredible day. And now we got to deal with Elsa. So the good news is Elsa will move through here quickly and we're going to be done with it. And let's hope Mother Nature gives us a break this weekend. You have a great night.